Yo, what's up, YouTube? Appreciate you stopping by. So today we're going to be looking at some controller settings for Call of Duty Warzone. And my last couple videos, they've been kind of looking more into linear settings. And don't get me wrong, the settings are still working really well. I've been using them, but I kind of wanted to make something to where those of you that don't want to use linear and you want to use dynamic instead, because it is still really, really good. I don't think there's one that's better than the other. I think they're really good as to what's comfortable to you. And I wanted to meet that audience out there that wants to use dynamic. So I did come up with some settings for that, and I'm going to go into in-depth settings on my PS5 from my resolution to my connectivity with my controller and what I'm using. So before we jump into it though, I do want to give a shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing, supporting the channel up to this point. I was able to partner with YouTube recently, and it's just a huge milestone. Feels really good that the fact that I know I'm reaching an audience out there. I'm able to help you guys out, and you guys are, by you sharing, liking, subscribing, and reaching out, giving me, comments in the comment section. It actually helps, makes me feel good. Like, okay, I was able to help someone out, and they're helping me out, and it's just full circle. Feels really good. I'm very humbled. Thank you again, and I hope to continue to grow. That's the plan. And yeah, don't want to make this too lengthy, so let's jump into it. All right, so we're going to look at a few different areas, such as the PS5 settings, the Dualsense Edge settings, and controller settings for Call of Duty. I'm going to go ahead and share the Call of Duty settings first, just because those of you that are here on the video, you don't have the PS5 and you don't have a Dualsense Edge, you just want some settings for Call of Duty. I'm going to do that now. And if you continue watching the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel to push this video out into their algorithm and help others out. So let's jump into it so that way you can get these settings down and copy down. Okay. All right. So Call of Duty settings, we're going to go down to dead zone inputs. And I went from 3 to 2, and if you saw my last video, I was at 3, now I'm at 2. I was able to put my controller, and I'm going to explain that later, I was able to put that down to 0%, and now I'm able to run 2, which just, the lower the better, especially on your left stick, not really your right stick, but your left stick, yes. 65 is the best balance because I feel like you're able to get that strafe and continue with aim assist as well. If you want more aim assist, rotational aim assist, and just want it to feel a little bit more stickier, then 90 is really good, or 85. But I like 65. I feel like it's best of both worlds, movement and aim assist still. Right stick's at 5. I was at 3 and I went to 5 just because I was over aiming just a tad, and I don't want to change my horizontal or my ADS. I like where that feels, and it feels great where I'm at, and I just wanted to make a marginal change, and I went up to 5 instead of 3. All right. So aiming, I'm at 66.90, and this is why you're here. Dynamic, because you're a dynamic fan. You want to use dynamic. I like it better than linear. I'll be honest, I don't feel like one is better than the other. I feel they're both really good. It's just what preference you like, what fits you better, what you like more. Okay. And dynamic at 0.00. So we're gonna actually not change that. 0.00. Okay. And it feels really good. Let me know how you guys like it. I know some people are still running it at 1.00 at regular, but put it to 0.00 and let me know what you think. Some people line this up with their ADS. I don't like to. I don't know if it's because I'm running the precision ring and then the extended grip, but I don't like lining it up. I did it for a little bit, but it felt really weird. So, and it felt too like slow. So 0.90 and I'm running 100, just regular. I'm not changing that. Another thing is instant rather than gradual. I recommend instant. And then I am running a custom, so 0.90, 0.90, 0.90, so it kind of lines up with those. And for my my multipliers, are the higher scopes for the sniping and the Car 98 and all that, 1.00. Okay. Default, aim assist default, and don't use Black Ops unless they make some changes. We'll eventually hear and we'll find out. But for now, default is the way to go. Other than that, that's pretty much the settings for controller. Here's the gameplay settings. I am running automatic tactical sprint. You do aim faster or more soon, I should say, with automatic sprint. But automatic tactical sprint, I feel like, especially on Resurgence, there's so much going on. You can start, one firefight and you're getting hit by someone else, and then you have to take off, right, and go plate up and then move around on people. It's just a lot better. But if you want to aim down a little bit quicker, then yeah, automatic sprint works really good too. So it's either way, it depends on what you want. I'm just so used to automatic tactical sprint. That's what I use. Other than that, guys, everything else here is pretty much the same. I didn't change much. It was more of a change from the linear 0.31 to dynamic at 0.00. That's the biggest drastic change that you're going to use. And I hope this helps you out. Those of you that were here looking for the dynamic settings for Call of Duty. Now, if you're still here in the video, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, guys. We're going to look into the PS5 settings now. So I'm going to click the middle button. We're going to go to settings and network. We're going to start with network. Make sure you connect direct as a LAN to your modem, just because you're going to have lower ping and better connectivity. And it just helps overall with your gameplay. It just helps a whole ton. If you have the capability of connecting direct to your modem, I suggest you do it. It really will help you out. Another thing is you're going to want to go to screen and video and current output. If you can run 4K at 120, I recommend running 4K at 120. It is a lot faster. Denial, the last YouTube page that I mentioned for my settings, he breaks down 4K, 1080p, 2K, and what's the fastest. And he recommends 4K and running it at 120 hertz if you're able to do 120 hertz. I don't run HDR. Some people have asked me, do you run HDR? I don't. I just adjust my settings on my monitor for my gamma and my brightness and my blacks and my whites. I just kind of, my colors and everything, I run it on there. I don't really use HDR within here. Another thing is accessories. So we're going to go to controller. Connection method, I am using the Dualsense Edge, remember? So I am using a USB cable connected to the back of the PS5 because that's your high-speed USB. And you're going to want to connect direct because it's going to give you faster input. This has 1,000 milliamps of power, so it's able to connect and maintain that. The DualShock 4 cannot maintain that fast of speed while connected to with the cord to the PS5. So you're actually going to lose some speed. So it's recommended that if you're running the DualShock 4, you're going to want to use it wireless. It's going to maintain its power and connectivity a lot more consistently while using it Bluetooth. Or again, don't use the cord or USB with the DualShock 4, which I was in the past until Denial did some testing. And I really recommend this page if you're a PS5 user. It really helps out on all these little tips and things that to help you with connectivity, lower inputs and stuff like that, and or lower delay and faster inputs, I should say. And his channel really helps out. So I'm gonna shout out his channel one more time, and I'll throw it in the description below. But pretty much that's it, guys. That's all the settings I have for the PS5. Now we're gonna look into the Dualsense Edge settings. All right, so Dualsense Edge customization X and O. I haven't changed it. Stick sensitivity, I'm at 0%. On the Dualsense Edge, we're able to adjust this to get rid of stick drift, but keep in mind the higher you move it, the less movement you're going to get. All that black you see on the screen, you won't register. So it kind of sucks. It's not very good to use. That's why I was recommending using the games first and then your controller. So if you can get to 0, that's the best that for this controller. Leave it at 0. So I was able to get to 0 and to have any type of dead zone or any type of movement. I was able to get to 0%. Right stick, I'm at 3%. I still have some stick drift in my right stick. And so 3% is the lowest I can get. If I can get to 0, I would. But my stick drift is just way too high, and the game picks it up. And so 3% feels really good with the 5 that I'm using within Call of Duty. Trigger dead zone, 0 to 1. Let me hide my camera. And 0 to 100 on the right. 0 to 1 is faster. You could do it like this, so it's faster. They're gonna be linked together. So, but 0 to 1 is way faster for the right stick, and you're gonna get that input sooner rather than using 0 to 100. The problem I have with 0 to 1 is when you load into Resurgence with the pistol, sometimes 0 to 1 is too quick, and then it doesn't register the follow-up shots as you're not using an automatic weapon, right? You have to really shoot as fast as possible, and sometimes it won't register the input as 0-1. As 0-100, it still it still registers the input, but this trigger right here, oh, my camera, sorry. My trigger here, it's gonna make it a little bit faster. The 0 to 100 a little bit quicker because it has a stopper on it. So it makes it a little bit faster. So 0 to 100 I recommend just because it's gonna help with vehicles and help with weapons that are not automatic. Okay, so 0 to 100. If you don't care about that, you're like, you know what? I don't care about that. I try to pick up automatic weapons anyway. It doesn't matter. That doesn't bug me. Then 0 to 1, I recommend. Still, it's a 0 to 1. Okay. But if it matters to you to jump in vehicles, to be able to, shoot um, uh, uh, semi-automatic rifles, that sounds right. Semi-auto, then you're gonna want to put it at 100, 0 to 100. Anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the settings for the PS5, the DualSense Edge, and Call of Duty itself. If you would like more settings onto the PS5, like, hey, I'm trying to get into streaming, I'm trying to get into recording my gameplay, how do I do that within PS5? How do I use Share Factory? That's how I started with this channel. I started with just streaming on the PS5 Direct, recording on PS5 Direct, using the PS5 camera and all that. If that's your setup, let me know. I would like to do a breakdown of what I was using, and I'll definitely share with you all of the different tips and tricks I use within Share Factory and all the different things I use to put some gameplay together and stuff like that. Now I am using the PC to transfer my data from the game into there. I transfer my gameplay and all that. If that's something you would like as well, like, hey, I want to get the Elgato. How do I set it up? I am running the Elgato 4KX. It's right there. If the camera can pick it up, I am running this and able to grab my gameplay and send it to my PC. So if that's something you have and you want to get into or you want to look into and you need a video to set up, let me know. I will definitely drop that for you. I would love to support you guys on that. Again, thank you to everyone that's been tuning in, commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing. You've helped my channel grow. It's not just all my efforts, your guys' efforts as well. It's a community I'm building. Thank you again for being a part of it. And I hope to continue to grow and help others, and you guys in favor help me by sharing and get it out there and whatnot. Anyways, I hope to be streaming pretty soon, hopefully tonight. If not, maybe tomorrow night. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.